we're going to be looking at geometric sequences, and more specifically we're going to look at finding the terms of a geometric sequence. So for example, if I have a long geometric sequence, we're interested in finding, say for example, the 10th term, okay, or the 100th term. So how do we do that? We have a nice formula to find the term. So we have here Tn is equal to AR to the power of n minus 1. Okay, so a lot of random letters there, so we'll try and go through what they all mean. Now Tn is the nth term. So for example, if I just substitute n equals to say 2, then T2 will be my second term, like that. So Tn is going to be my nth term, just as a general formula. Now A. So A is the letter we like to use to represent my first term. Okay, so if I have a nice geometric sequence, just the first one will be represented by A. Now finally, we want to know what R is. So R is simply the common ratio of my geometric sequence. Okay, so these are the three things we need to know to find just some specific terms of a geometric sequence. So let's try and answer some of the questions using this. Now in question 1, okay, it says find the 10th term of the sequence whose first term is 3 and the common ratio is 2. Okay, so well, we know what the formula is, so we can just use my term formula. Okay, and let's try and find, okay, do we know what A is, do we know what R is, and do we know what N is? Well, it says the 10th term is what we want to find. So we want to find T10, okay, which means N equals to 10. Now A, which is my first term, they tell me my first term is 3. So sub in A equals to 3. And finally, my common ratio equals to 2. So in R, let's put 2. Okay, so very simple. Let's just put it into our formula. Okay, then it's going to look like this. So if I put this into my calculator and evaluate it, 1,536 is my 10th term, okay, which was T10. Now, if we take a look at the next question. Now, in this question, they don't really just give us the all the A's and the common ratios and stuff. We're going to figure it out from a given geometric sequence. So in question 2, it says, find the 8th term of this sequence, okay, which is given by this. So first of all, what do we need? Well, we need the first term, and we need a common ratio, and we also want to know n, which is which term we want to find, which we can see is 8. So again, the first term, okay, that's the easy part. Okay, so in this sequence, just the very first one is A equals to 2. So that's my first term. Now finding my common ratio. So finding my common ratio is going to be 6 divided by 2, okay, which is just the scale between the first two numbers, and we can see the common ratio is 3. Okay, and finally we can use our formula because we know n equals to 8. Okay, so substitute n equals to 8 and all these values. Okay, so A equals to 3, R equals to, A equals to 2 and R equals to 3. Okay, sub them all in. And if I evaluate this, then my 8th term in this sequence will be this one, 4,374. Okay, so this is how we find terms of a geometric sequence. Now, a very similar question in question 3. We're going to try and find the 8th term, again, of this following sequence. So we have 1, -2, 4, -6, and 16. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is, again, I probably should use that formula, which means, first of all, I want to find my A, which is my first term, okay, which is simply just 1. And the common ratio, okay, if I figure it out, I can see it's -2. And then from there, I know that I want to find the 8th term, which means in my formula here, let's sub in n equals to 8, so I can find term number 8. Okay, and sub in all my other values. So A equals to 1, and my ratio is equal to -2. Okay, and if we evaluate this, then my 8th term of this sequence will be -128. Okay, so this is how we use the formula for finding the term. Okay, so that's how we use it to find the terms of geometric sequences.